Hello, Maria.
Hi,
Good to see
Rimas.
you.
Good to see you too.
Hello, Melbourne. This is Vilnius University, and this is one of our most famous courtyards. I teach here, and as you see, there's a graduation ceremony going on, and students are happy. And Maria is showing you some of the beautiful Baroque buildings, the Baroque facades of St. John's Church, the University Bell Tower, Alma Mater Vilnius, and we have the Dean over here, Mindaugas Kaitkauskas, and this university has had many famous graduates. Adam Mickiewicz, the great Polish romantic poet, studied here. Czesław Miłosz, the great modernist Polish poet, studied here. His friend, belonging to the next generation, Tomas Venclova, also studied here. And then after that, there were many Lithuanian poets: Judita Vaičiūnaitė, Marcelijus Martinaitis, Justinas Marcinkevičius. Lots of great poets studied at this university. And we have several plaques in a different courtyard honoring some of them. And it's a beautiful place to be. So let's take a walk. My usual walk from the university is to go out this way. We'll have to meander through the crowd, and we'll stop by the UNESCO House of Literature to see if anybody's there, because usually there's some poets hanging out there. This was actually unplanned. In the sense, I didn't know there would be a graduation ceremony right now. But you see all these beautiful, happy people, so it gives a nice impression of Vilnius.
Some noise too.
Yes, yes. Okay, we're heading out of the university now onto St. John's Street. Is Castle Street, Vilnius Gatvė, and that's the Signatarų namai, the place where the first constitution of Lithuania was signed. And we have a celebration there every February 16th. I would like to read a poem by one of our graduates of Vilnius University. It was a little bit noisy inside there, so I was thinking I'd read it here. We'll find a quieter spot. This is by Tomas Venclova. It's in my translation. It's untitled. Beyond St. Anne and the Bernardines, where the liturgical calendar is marked by a family of bells, the monastery is held within sand and hills and all that is green. Under high windows, ripples of rills wander through steep gaps of hills. Roof tiles stretch harmonious lines, and a streetlight shines double in pavement and sky. On this side of three crosses, the city fits into one's palm, and a Doric column answers cold frost with lucid calm. I am full of weightless time. The sidewalks are unhoned, white plains laid out like books scattered slant and oblique, where strings of streets break and paint strips down to stone. Not yet destroyed by wars, unchanged by passing years, the stone wall stretches under tin into an unlocked labyrinth, a realm of rough inscription. In the market's dense disorder, we drink a draught of wine, and thanks to it, the endless whine of your unfamiliar neighbor becomes a speech more dear. The linden leaf is fated to fall, the grass to grow, the jay to fly, death to wander down the street, and you to recall the stanzas why, relishing the richness of vowels and speech. Twilight falls, a kind of innocence, donning the mask of loneliness. Venclova is still alive. He lives in Vilnius, after spending a long time at Yale University. Now we're going to go to a new institution of the Lithuanian poetry and literary scene. Because Lithuania was granted the status of UNESCO City of Literature, Ruta and Maria opened up these offices. So we're going to take a look, see who's around. Because there's lots of events here, and people come here to do work. There's book club meetings, poetry readings, discussions with authors, and it's generally a very happening place. I see, looks like Ruta has a meeting, so we won't go in the office there. We'll check who's out back here. Is anyone here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret behind it.
I hear somebody working. It's the poet Matas Barokas, poet and translator. What are you working on?
On a fat and big novel translating from English to Lithuanian. And the guitar.
From English to Lithuanian.
And the guitar to Paradise.
Okay.
Way to go.
Sounds good. Since you're here, maybe you want to read a short poem of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to read a short poem.
We have, your book is here. Let's see. This is one of my favorite. I translated his work into English.
Okay, since I'm here, pardon my English, but okay, I can. Books are my pets and garden, my shelter and clinic. Clutching their sentences, I gaze at the greenery on the other side. The bars of your lines are dense. I husk the pills of poems, smooth like stones by the Black Sea. But no, I also I crave to be one of those, riding an armored hexameter, harnessed to a chariot, gripping the reins and the spear, shouting, flying like mad into the stony backs of the gods.
Thank you. That's from his book Now I Understand, published by Parthenon in the UK.
I think that.
I think, yes, 2018. Well, let's continue the literary tour, as short it is as it is. Thank you, Mario. Good luck with your work.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Marius' wife is also a poet. Judita Esponite, I've translated some of her work as well. And the two of them are having a reading today in the Signataru Namai, the building that I told you about where the Constitution was signed. So there's a lot going on here. It's a busy time. Things will settle down in the summer, in July and August. But for now, everything is still hot with activity. So usually, I leave the university. I might drop by UNESCO. Sometimes I go to a reading after my seminars. Sometimes I stop to see what friends might be hanging out. We have construction
We
going
have
on.
noise again.
Construction
Sorry.
and renovation seems to be a constant in Vilnius these days. And my usual path then is up Yonu Street, John Street. We are passing the Polish embassy. And I often go to a cafe bookstore that I really enjoy. That's going to be just up the street. We are on the way passing. Let's show them the Zawadzki Publishing House. This is the place where Adam Mickiewicz's first book of ballads and romances was published in the early 19th century. Apparently. So this was a famous Polish publishing house. Vilnius is a multilingual city. It's got a multilingual literary history. So Adam Mickiewicz, Czesław Miłosz are two of Poland's greatest poets, and they're both from Vilnius, in the Vilnius area, let's say. The former territory, the Duchy of Lithuania, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. We also have a rich history of Yiddish literature. So, for instance, Abraham Sutzkever, arguably the greatest Yiddish poet of all time, is from Vilnius. He lived here and he survived the war here. If we look up the street here, we're looking, that street curves up to a part of the ghetto during World War II. A lot of the Jews were imprisoned up the street there. Abraham Sutzkever was among them. And he escaped through tunnels under the ghetto and was caught in the forest. The Nazis, there were some German soldiers and some Lithuanian collaborators. The German soldiers told the Lithuanians to kill him, and somehow or other, they recognized who he was and his cultural value. And they shot their guns into the air. And then they went back and told the German officers they killed him. He was able to then escape, find some partisans, and eventually made his way to Israel, where he ended his long life. So that's one of the more positive stories from a really horrible time period. Another famous survivor of the Lithuanian ghetto was the painter Samuel Bach, who is still alive in Boston today. We have a museum in his honor. He's a wonderful surrealist kind of painter, but also a son of Vilnius. We are now approaching the Dominicans Church. It's another example of Lithuanian late Baroque architecture. Joseph Brodsky actually came here and prayed, and writes about that in his poem Lithuanian Nocturne. Joseph Brodsky liked to come here. He became good friends with Tomas Venclova, whose poem I read earlier. We are now here at Vilnius Bookstore and Cafe. This is in some ways a home away from home for me. It's a very cozy cafe, and plenty of books. And let's take a look, see what it's like inside today. This is Rugile. She's one of our baristas. She studies French literature at Vilnius University. Say hello to Melbourne, Australia.
Hello.
And let's see, did you notice if anyone came by? Oshra maybe?
No.
No?
No.
No? Okay. Well, let's take a look at the bookshelf. And what do we have here? Well, we have, among other things, my translations of Maironis, the Lithuanian Romantic classic from the late 19th, early 20th century. And maybe I'll read something from there. Let's maybe go outside, get a nice view of down the street.
It's a bit windy, but maybe.
It's windy, but I love this view, looking at the old wall and the old buildings down here. So let me see if I can read something from here. I'll read you one of his most famous poems called Trakai Castle. These are in my translation, published by the Maironis Museum. With moss and mold overgrown, in Trakai a worthy castle stands. While its lords sleep soundly in stone, the castle looks over the land. But as the years run by, the walls now groan. They dwindle each day, neglected, alone. When wind comes troubling the water, and the lake tries to climb onto shore, the waves wash up to the tower, and it crumbles like never before. So the walls fall apart day by day, filling our hearts with dismay. Our glorious keep, is this really your fate? What heroes came forth through your gates? You saw the might of Vytautas the Great as he rode under history's weight. So where is your strength, your inheritance? Where are the days once dear gone hence? These silent walls, neglected by all, are now without guard and weaponry. How can we those dear times recall as they march down the road to eternity? Oh, dearest times, will they ever return? Or will we, as for youth, merely yearn? When I took the road through Trakai, my heart cried out in sharp pain. A tear washed my cheek on the sly, and my eyes couldn't take the strain. I felt my hopes for solace flee. Dark night was all that I could see. And that poem is certainly evoking Lithuanian history as an attempt to give the Lithuanian nation strength and identity in the face of occupation under the Russian Empire. And Maironis was very important for keeping alive that sense of Lithuanianness, even when the Lithuanian language in its written form was banned by the Tsar. So it's a kind of anti-colonial poem, a kind of resistance poem, and that tradition continued into the 20th century with poets writing about Lithuanian history and mythology and architecture as a way of resisting the Soviet Union and its ideologies. Now in the 21st century, the poetry scene is much more wide and free, and people are doing all kinds of different things and writing all kinds of poems. And many of them like to come here to Mint-Vinit-2 and to have a cup of coffee and say hello to their friends. So let's, I guess, finish our little tour back in Mint-Vinit-2. Maybe there's something else I can read for you. How are we doing on time? It looks like we're running almost out of time. But let's see. I see. What do we have here? These are the new books. This is the Vilnius Review. It's our journal of contemporary Lithuanian literature. I do a lot of translations for it. The editor used to be Marius Burokas, who read you a poem earlier. It's now a younger writer named Saulius Vasiliauskas. He's taken over the reins after many years of good work for Marius. Most of the content, all the content, is online at vilniusreview.com, I believe it is. And the journal is published in a paperback form once a year as a kind of best of Lithuanian literature from the internet website. The website also has wonderful videos of poets reading their poems in different locations, often in Vilnius.
And the very nice design of this
Yes,
issue. It won an award.
This won a design award recently. I forget what it's called. I'm not
it's some international award.
Yes.
But yeah.
So we're in that sense, it's doing well. We used to publish No More Amber, the review of Baltic literature, but that has proven to be difficult to continue. Oh, hello, Oshra.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Oshra is another leading poet from a younger generation, we can say. Can we still call you younger?
I hope so.
And,
Oh my
you
God.
Okay, Maria?
Yes, sorry. I almost fell.
And Oshra just came by. You had an interview, yes, with somebody?
Yes.
So it's a busy day for all of us. Everyone's trying to get work done. But maybe you could read something.
Oh
for
yeah,
us.
sure.
This
I
is-
would be happy to.
This is Oshra's book, The Moon is a Pill, also published by Parthenon, just like Modes's book, same publisher in Britain. And I'm also the translator. So what would you like to read for us?
I don't know. Maybe some short poem.
Yeah, a
Would
short
work.
poem. A short poem. I think we're at our time limit.
We
so-
have a minute.
Yes.
Holy. Pedestrian smiles, a cold spring, books, films, shoes in the wrong spot, sex, Monday sirens, a pigeon flies into church. None of it appears to mean anything, and that's the only reason. it appears.
Okay, thank you, Oshra.
Thanks a
it's a
lot.
wonderful book, and the title poem, "The Moon is a Pill," is really intense, and it's quite a bit longer, and so I recommend it. We have a thriving scene here, and thank you, Melbourne, for listening. Love to see you in person someday, here or there. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.